Great. Welcome to Canada, everyone. Just kidding. You don't want to come here. It's white powder time. So I wanted to do a review on some of my products that I have on my truck for the last little while here. I've got a handful of products that I want to do a review on. So my first one I want to start with is my Auxbeam 32-inch curved Quadbeam LED light bar. I've had this for about a year now. Yeah, I'd say close to a year, if not over a year. So before I start the review, I kind of want to go inside my truck because it is getting cold out here. You probably can barely hear me, but I wanted to show you what this light bar looks like underneath my truck, and and then I'll tell you how I installed it and how it's performing. And then I will obviously go out at night and get you guys some night shots and some reviews on it and how it's performing for me. So let's get to it. I'm gonna cut this short because I don't need to spend time to talk about everything else. I more or less need to show you guys the outputs and what my actual thoughts are at night of it are. And so to install this light bar, all I used was the factory brackets that it came with, the crash bar on our trucks on the bottom there, and then you just use a thick spacer of some sorts. I can't think of the word right now, but something that just basically lifts the bracket up and it sits level with your factory grill there on the bottom there. I did notch that part out because I just didn't like it there. It may sacrifice a little bit of output, and I just think it looks better without that the cheese grater stuff on the factory plastic there. I mean, it's getting chopped up anyways when you get a bumper, so why not start now, right? So you don't need any fancy brackets. You can buy brackets still. I'm not against the brackets. It's just I'm not spending $200 just to mount a light bar there when I can mount it for free myself. Yeah, sure, I'm compromising the crash bar or whatever, but I mean, if I'm gonna smash the front end, I don't think I have to worry about the light bar being totally secured. It's gonna go bye-bye anyways on anything you put it on. So other than that, it's quite easy to install a 30 to 32 inch light bar, and mine's a curved one, like I said. It's a discontinued bar from Auxbeam. They had a sale on it last Black Friday or Christmas, I think it was around that time when I bought it. I paid 60 US for it, 80 Canadian. So I mean, my Morimoto 2-stroke bulbs are more expensive than this light bar. How does that make sense, eh? Some precautions I made because I wasn't too sure on Auxbeam yet, but I mean, I'm starting to grow on them a lot more. I have another light bar that's for something that's coming next in 2 months. I put silicone on the ends of the tab because that's usually where they're prone to leak. They don't usually leak on top or the bottom. It's usually those side little pieces there. So I just put a little silicone on each side and call her quits. Haven't had a leak yet. No issues with that either. So other than that, now I guess we just gotta wait for nighttime. And I mean, for you guys it's about 3 seconds, and for me it's gonna be about 3.5 hours. So I will wait till it's dark out and show you guys the light bar and how it performs and how the beam is and what I think about it. Was it worth it? We'll see. Stay tuned. So this has got a slight downgrade of the hill, so my truck's pointing down, and here's with the light bar on. So it adds a lot more view when you're going downhill, so it shoots up more. Yeah, so that's one part of it. This is at a dark intersection, and so I'm just gonna turn it on to show you, and it goes uphill actually as well. So it definitely adds a lot more lighting around here for sure. I can see pretty much all the way up that road there. I mean, not very much, but as I get closer it would change obviously. So this is just driving on the back road on my own kind of thing, you know. and you know, turn on the light bar and boom. There's a lot more side lighting for sure, and I mean, it's shooting as far as it can, obviously. So I'll just do an off and on here again. So there's off. So these are my fog lights and my headlights, and then boom, there's the light bar. So it adds a lot more surround lighting to your lights already, for sure. Can't really, I can still see my fog lights in this picture. I mean, it's hard to say on camera, but I can still see my fog lights emitting light through. It's not like it's overpowering it, and obviously with my headlights on, it kind of just fills it in nicely. And then I'll just throw my high beams on for shiz. There you go. Off high beams, off light bar. So this is a highway I'm looking at right now, and right across me there's a road. I'm not sure how much you can see it, but obviously you can see my low beam shooting out there. And then here's with the light bar on again. So you can see that it adds more lighting. The thing that you may not see is that right above, so there's the light output here where my finger is, and then up around here, a little ways up, like another foot, maybe two and a half feet, there's actually a little bit of glare happening here. So I mean, obviously when you turn it on with snow or whatever, it's gonna go all Star Wars on you there. So, but there's off again. I'll put the camera here in the center, and we'll do on again, and there's the output again. So maybe you want to use it on the highway, you know, you're on a dead highway, you're all alone or whatever, you want to flick on your light bar, obviously. Well, so this is how the output would be on the street. And you know, with this is a single lane highway, so it's only 2 lanes, and then you got your sides. So there's what it's like. It definitely is amazing to have. It fills up the lighting all in front. It also depends on where you position it, of course, right? So where it sits for my truck, it adds quite a bit to the ground, but shoots out enough that it's good enough for what it would be. And remember, this is a curved bar, so off, on, off, on. It's great. So this is going to be the same shot about 3 different times, or maybe 4 times, different angles, and just to kind of show you the output. So this is just my daytime running lights, is what you're seeing. And here's the light bar on. On again, just to kind of go off and on there. So now I'm going to go outside and do different angles for you to see a different output. Okay guys, so another thing I wanted to do for you is show you how much actual amps this light bar is drawing. Not a lot of people like to show this or talk about this, or not a lot of people do the measurements. So I bought myself a little amp reader off of Amazon, and it seems to actually be pretty accurate compared to another one that I tested against my other buddies. So right now it's drawing like 0.2 amps on the reader, and we're gonna turn the light bar on here, and we're gonna come over here, read the amp reader, and she is reading 16.2. Right, so 16.2. Then we'll turn off the bar here, off. And right now I'm reading in about 4 amps. So the light bar is drawing roughly anywhere from 10 to 13 amps, and this is with the truck running and all that there. So in other words, that's a 15 amp fuse on the light bar itself. And then I will just do this again. So we'll turn it on and then we'll see what she reads again. And as before, 16.4. We'll zero this out just to make sure. Obviously I can't zero it out when it's, yeah. So we'll do it here. Yeah, just click. And then we'll clamp it on as it sits. And she's reading actually 15. We'll do that one more time. So it says 15 on here now. And we'll zero out again. Clamp on to it again. And she's reading about 15. So that's what you can see there. I mean, you guys can't probably hear me on the engine. Then we'll turn off the bar again just to double check. And she's reading 3 amps there. So yeah, so it's about a 12 amp draw. So in other words, you run a 15 amp fuse to this light bar. This thing's actually really good to have, guys. I'm not gonna lie. If you're gonna get something, you definitely want to get this. This is a UNIT brand. I paid about 53 Canadian, 35 US. So definitely recommend this bar as much as I can. At least the reason why I'm doing this review is not just for the Auxbeam, even though, like I said, I bought this discontinued and all that there, but as a quad beam bar in general, or quad beam lighting, you kind of get the same idea of all that. Obviously every brand might be different in LED chips or whatever, but for a quad beam bar is actually very good to have. I mean, you see all those different angles and how it's driving at night and all the highway driving. It makes a huge difference for output. It is worth the money as long as you're not spending too much. The light is quite scattered, as I've stated before. Like, I don't know if you'll be able to see this as it sits, but turn it on here. If we look straight up, where this is about 6 feet right now, you're looking. You can't quite tell on the glare side, but there is a lot of flood lighting, and there is a good spread of light output, obviously, right? So, you know, you're looking off here into the ditch. There's off. I mean, you can look at, for the bars shooting straight, and it's got a good 45-degree little light output there too. I mean, but I had ditch lights too to accommodate that, right? So, but this light bar is definitely awesome. For the price that I paid. You probably can't see much. I mean, I think my light bar is even dirty right now, but it also might be blocked a little bit. So it's really hard to say on that. I'm just gonna close my hood here and then I'll finish this review out for you guys. So to conclude this review on the 32-inch quad beam curved LED light bar, hands down probably the best purchase I've ever made for any light bar, because I never actually I never even wanted a light bar to begin with, because I wasn't sure on output or, you know, fitting it or whatever. You know, it fits behind the bottom portion of the grill on a 2016 and up Tacoma perfectly fine, sitting on the crash bars. I just gotta use some thick spacers or whatever to lift it up so it sits evenly with your grill. The only thing I can probably say what is best for this light bar is either a roof mount or just a higher up mount sort of way for the light bar, because like I said, as it sits where it is there, I guess it is kind of beneficial, because if you're going, say, up a hill or whatever, you can obviously get that higher output there, but it does have a really weird beam pattern to it. Like, so the beam pattern itself is just spread wide out, but it may vary for a straight bar versus the curved bar, because like I said, curved has that wider output there, so that might fix it there. I can't say what it'd be for a straight bar, obviously. I always like curved more because it gives you a more flood open lighting. Obviously you can tell from the videos there how much more it opens up for the output there of the bar. But Awesome bar. I mean, Auxbeam, I haven't had a problem with this bar. I've had it on for over a year now, so I mean, I'm not giving this a review after like a couple weeks or something. I've had it for at least a year or close to a year, and it's been a great light bar so far. I don't know if I'll be using this with my next project that I got going on. I did buy an Auxbeam bar, spot beam bar. It's a 31-inch single row, and that's going into my new bumper. And so I'm gonna put this one behind the grill, and we're gonna see how it does. I might keep it behind the grill, or I might be selling it to a friend or whatever there. So, but I wanted to give a good review for you guys and show you the output of what a quad beam bar can do, and obviously how good the Auxbeam one is performing, because I think they still have quad beams available, but not in this size, which is 32 inches or smaller. But you can get quad beam pods, smaller light bars. You know, there's a lot of quad beams out there, so I mean, if you need to know what a quad beam does and how it performs, there's that. There's also so many different lenses or different outputs that come with lights nowadays, so it's hard to tell what they'll do for you. I did buy some quad beam pods as well too, a different brand off of Amazon, and like they perform okay, but they're very small lights, but they are a great floodlight. Distance, I think it vary on the size. For this one in particular, it shoots quite far. You know, if I'm looking at the lighting here, again, I'm just gonna show you this, you know, for reference here. So I'm sitting in the dark here, it's an open road. If I turn this on, I can see, I want to say I could probably see about six to eight taco trucks ahead of me, if that kind of gives you a reference. So that's roughly about an extra, what would it be, you know, well over a few hundred feet for sure. Yeah, I mean, I could see everything here, right? You know, if I wanted to just run this and no extra, not my headlights or whatever, it's perfect for this. Like, but when you match it with your other lights, it could either overpower it, or it might not see too much of a difference. With all my lights, it makes a significant difference. I can't complain about it. Like I said, when you pay next to nothing for it and your light bulbs are more expensive than this bar, I mean, you're not going to complain, obviously, for the amount of money you spend for the output of it. And like I said, the draw isn't a lot, so you know, my battery runs at 13.8, let's say roughly, and you know, it's running 12 or 13 amps. You times that, you get your watts. It's about a 150 watt light bar. Not a lot, obviously, but you know, you pay for the quality, obviously. You know, that's why Baja Designs and other light bar brands are more money, is, you know, they put out some serious power. Like this 32-inch bar probably puts out as much power as like a rigid set of pods, you know, but it comes down to the output of it. Obviously pods won't give you this kind of output, but they might have that potential brightness. So, but I thought I'd show you guys some accessories. I've got a lot more reviews coming. I plan on doing my Smittybilt air compressor. I'm gonna do my ditch brackets with my ditch lights here soon. Probably a few other equipments I have there just to kind of do more reviews, because I don't see a lot of reviews on this. Like there's one review on this bar itself too, and I thought this deserved another review based off of me there, and you know, get it out there a little bit more. And but like I said, mine's more generic for all the quad beams out there, just to show you what they're like and give you different output shots of it right there. So that's all, guys. Have a good one. If you have any questions about even in the install, I might be able to give you more background on that there, or even questions about Auxbeam bars or whatever you want. I also have rock lights coming from them too, so I'll be able to do a review / install on those as well, probably in a couple weeks. Obviously probably not till the new year for sure. So that's about it. Have a good one, guys, and if you have any questions, like I said, please comment below, let me know. Feedback of all kinds is welcome. I accept negative as much as I can, because I'm still learning. And yeah, let me know. See ya.